So attending the Dharma class is just the very beginning of this long journey that we all have to take, okay? Because after the Dharma class, we have to learn how to learn about the Tao, cultivate, teach, propagate, and practice the Tao. And this journey never ends until we take our last breath, okay? So this Dharma class is only the very beginning. So after that, now we have to learn about it, okay? So let's see what the 18th patriarch says. Oh, first I have to thank the grace of heaven, virtues of masters, the mercy of our grand predecessors, all transmitters, and every one of you for allowing me to speak in today's class on how to implement learning, cultivation, teaching, propagation, and practice of Tao. Okay, Johnny, the next slide. Okay, so this is from our 18th patriot, our holy teacher, okay? He says, we must truly and diligently achieve this. So in learning Tao, the more we study, the more gentle, the more friendly, the more polite, amiable, and harmony that we will become. In cultivating Tao, the more we cultivate, the more joyful and happy we will be, okay? And once we understand our Buddha nature and let our Buddha nature be in control, then we will be a much joyful and happier person. In teaching Tao, the more we teach, the more we are immersed in these assets, okay? So the closer we will be with the Buddha, and the closer we will be with the truth. In propagating Tao, the more opportunities there are for us to propagate, the more we do it, the more centered we will be. So this also can offset our karmas and offset our obstacles. In practicing Tao, the more we are in harmony with the rules and regulations, the more we practice, the more natural it will become. And then the more we help, the more chances there will be for us to practice. Okay. These are all the steps we must take in the process for the purpose of attaining Tao. In order to learn, cultivate, teach, propagate, and practice the Tao, we first have to receive this Tao, right? So why do we want to receive Tao? Some people ask, I am a person that's also already very good. I don't harm people. I don't do anything bad in life. Why do I need to receive Tao? Okay. So we all know that receiving this Tao and cultivating, we can transcend from this physical realm, okay, from this world of reincarnation. And if one has a kind heart and receives the Tao, one remains a good person in a sinful world, okay, then we can transcend. We don't have to come back into this world. The only reward, if one has a kind heart and has not received the Tao, the only reward they will get in the next life is to reincarnate as a person with good fortune. But however, that good fortune will run out eventually. Okay? It doesn't stay with them forever. So those that receive the Tao, they can cultivate, they can propagate, they can practice the Tao, and eventually will reach enlightenment and transcend from this world of birth, death, and rebirth. Next slide, Johnny. The benefits of receiving Tao. Receiving Tao can transform our temperament. Everybody has their temper and character. Everybody has a temper. It's a matter of controlling our temper. So by receiving Tao, we know that we all have to change our temper and change our bad habits. Otherwise, we wouldn't know any better that we have to do that. We would go through life with all our bad habits and our bad tempers. Okay. Number 2 is it will open up our wisdom. everybody has a wisdom inherent within themselves. Okay? So through our many lifetimes in this world, we are attached to all these forms. We also have many desires, and with all these accumulation of biases and attachments and desires, it prevents our wisdom from manifesting itself. So after we receive that, we are more mindful and aware of what we should do and what we should not do. And this is how our wisdom will reveal itself once we get rid of our attachment and desires. Number 3 is changes our fate and reshape our destiny. It can eliminate misfortunes and disasters and change our destiny. Okay, we all have karmas from our past lifetimes. Otherwise, we would not be reborn into this world as human beings. Okay, each and every one of us are here because we have karmas. Okay? So with receiving the Tao, we can change and offset our karmas by doing good deeds and by earning merits. Okay, we can offset all these karmas and turn them, change our destinies for the better. Number 4, bestows favor and grace to descendants and ancestors. So because we receive the Tao, and whatever we do, our ancestors can benefit from all the good deeds that we do in this world. 7 generations of ancestors above us, 9 generations of descendants below us. Our holy teacher says that includes 65,536 people, because that includes all the lifetimes that we were reincarnated into this physical realm. 10,000 years of reincarnation. Okay, 60,000 years of reincarnation. Okay, so it includes our ancestors from both our father and mother's side for all the lifetimes that we were reincarnated. So that's why it totals to 65,536 ancestors. Isn't that wonderful? Right? Now, yeah, so also whenever we come to class, our ancestors and also our karmas can come. Okay? So this will also help to offset our karmas. So when you're here, your ancestors are also here listening. You can't see them, but they can see you. Okay? And number 5 is to avoid calamities and escape danger. The Buddhas will protect us in times of calamities and danger. Okay, remember, we all learn about the 3 treasures. If we practice it every day, we have a connection with heaven. So whenever we are in danger at any time in our life, the Buddhas will know. They will always be outside to protect us. Okay. Now also, Holy Teacher says, to avoid catastrophes, we must first realize why catastrophes come about. Catastrophes do not materialize without a cause. Catastrophes result from the sins accumulated by mankind through many lives. That is why if one wants to avoid catastrophes, one must first repent his sins. Okay. So repentance can be manifested as honoring our teachers, respect to the Tao, practice in doing good deeds, and suppressing evil thoughts. Okay. Number 6, we can transcend from samsara, transcend from this world of reincarnation. Then we don't have to come back into this world because of karma. When we transcend, we can choose to come back. We have that option to choose to come back. Okay, and we can also have that option to choose which family we want to reincarnate into if we transcend. Okay? So we have that option, whereas a regular person don't have that option. Their choice, they don't have that choice. Their rebirth will be based on their karmas. Okay? Right now we are in human form, but you never know if we do so many bad things that we can reincarnate into animal form in future lifetimes. We don't know. Okay? There's no guarantee. The Book of Song says 10,000 calamities, thousands births per an individual. Okay? 10,000 calamities, 1,000 births per an individual. 1,000 rebirth. One should know that these are the results of the seeds we have planted from our past life. Huh? So in this life we are born.
Do you know, is that the whole Psalms or is that?
This is Book of Song. It's yeah. This quote is from the book.
Okay, there's no number on it.
No. Okay. So in this life, okay, to be born in China is difficult. It is even harder to come upon heaven's Tao in this third period. Okay. So in this present day, to hear of this great Tao and to receive this Tao in this human body, we must cultivate early in order to transcend early. So right now we all receive the Tao. We are all in human form. Okay, we all have come across this Tao. So we must cherish and seize the moment to cultivate ourselves so we can transcend. We don't have to come back in the next life. Okay? Next slide, Johnny. Oh, how to learn and cultivate Tao. Number one, we have to attend classes. Every Sunday, we have English class here. Okay? From 10 until 12:30. If we come, we can learn. We can learn from the internet, but it's not the same. Okay. If you learn from the internet, our ancestors will not have that opportunity to be here and learn with us. Our karmas will not have that opportunity to also learn. Okay. So it will also help us offset the karmas. So by coming to class is totally different than learning on the internet. So there are many, and then if you have a question, you can ask immediately. If you learn on the internet, you cannot ask questions. Yes, Johnny?
Yeah, I just wanted to explain when you said the karma. So our karma, that means the people that we are owing things to, that they can come and see and hear what is being said and what is being taught. So this way, it's easier for a holy teacher to negotiate for us to get our karma reduced all the time. So it's important that we come to class.
Right. Thank you, Johnny. Okay. So that is why coming to study in the temple is very critical. Okay. I understand sometimes that we have things that is out of our control and prevents us from coming. That's okay. Heaven knows. But if the reason is because, oh, I want to sleep today, that's not a good reason. All right. So heaven always know why we're not here. So try our best to come every week. Then another way is to study carefully the Tao classics. We have sutras. Okay. These are all teachings of the Tao that were left to us in book forms, okay, in sutra forms. Like this morning, what did we recite? The Maitreya Buddha Sutra, right? So we also have the Heart Sutra. These are the very popular ones. Then we have other sutras that are also very good, okay? So sutras can also help us in our study because there's a lot of deep meaning in all the sutras. And at the same time, for example, the Heart Sutra and the Maitreya Buddha Sutra this morning, if we recite once, we will have a connection with heaven. If we recite twice, it will help us to transcend. If we recite 3 times every day, the evil spirits are afraid to get close to us. Isn't that wonderful? Right? So if we can learn and recite, even if we can't memorize it yet, you can read it 3 times a day. Okay? When Ty comes back, we can ask him to print it out for us so we can read it. There's pinyin on it. You can read the pinyin, okay? Gradually memorize it. It took me 3 years to memorize. I don't read Chinese. I'm no better than you are. I don't read Chinese. That's why I'm in English class and not in Chinese class. It took me 3 years to memorize. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? If you have a will, you can do it. It's not hard. Because every sentence rhymes with each other also. Okay? Then go to the temples regularly. Okay? So temples are where we can learn from the ways of the Buddhas. Remember, the Buddhas used to be human just like we are today. No different. But because they sacrificed themselves for sentient beings, they have magnanimous tolerance. They don't have that I. They only think of sentient beings primarily. And today they have become Buddhas where millions of people worship them. So that is why it is important to come to the temple and learn also all the proprieties. Without the temple, we cannot learn the proprieties. Okay? Set up our own cultivation path. We all know where our faults are. And the first step to cultivate is to recognize what our bad habits and what are our faults. If we don't recognize it, it will never be changed. So in order to recognize it, in order to correct ourselves, we have to recognize it and be determined to change these faults for the better. Okay? We have to be very eager and very motivated to cultivate ourselves at all times, not only in one moment of our life, in every day in our daily life. Okay? Perform meritorious deeds and establish virtues to transform our lives, our destinies. Anything we do in the temple is a good deed. Any good deed we do, our ancestors and our descendants can benefit. Okay? So if you notice, after lunch, everybody mops the floor, clean the dishes, wipe the tables. Okay? Do whatever you think is needed. This is God's home. When we are in the temple, okay, we will consider also our home. Okay, whatever we do at home, we can do here. Things need to be dusted, things need to be wiped, things need to be clean. We just do it naturally. Nobody's going to tell us to do it. Nobody. It's up to us to want to do it. Okay? So, when you see people clean, it's not like we don't look at them, oh, they're so stupid to mop the floor. No, we can't look at them like that. They are very bright and smart to do it because they are offsetting their karmas. Okay? The only way to offset our karma is with good deeds. And the greatest good deed is what? Bring people to receive the Tao. Okay? Even talking to a person daily is a good deed. So when opportunity comes, we talk to the people. Okay, even if they don't want to come and receive the Tao, by introducing the Tao to them, it will leave it will put a stamp in their memory. So in the future lifetime, whenever they come across Tao, they will remember, oh, this is something really good. So that's why when you are with strangers, you just speak, okay, naturally. Don't force the opportunity, but when it comes to you, we must speak. Okay? Next. Goals of learning, cultivating, teaching, propagating, and practicing the Tao. Okay, in learning Tao, we must learn up to the moral standards of the holy sages. Okay, we follow the ways of the saints and Buddhas. They are our role models. Okay, so we must learn from them. We can choose one particular Buddha that we feel a strong affinity with. Okay, and we can use their ways to cultivate. Okay, everybody has their own affinity. I have a strong affinity with Guanyin Bodhisattva and our holy teacher, because every time that I have an obstacle, they are always there to help me. If you heard my story a few weeks ago, right? They are always there to help me. Okay? So, Guanyin Bodhisattva is well known for her mercy. She's great compassion. Okay, that's why she's known as the goddess of mercy. Then we have our happy Buddha, who has magnanimous tolerance. Okay, then there's so many Buddhas that we can follow. You choose the one that you have strong affinity with. Okay, of course, the teacher is everybody's teacher. Okay, always here to watch out for us. Okay, in cultivating Tao, we have to accommodate everything, like Maitreya Buddha, who has a big fat belly for magnanimous tolerance. He also has great acceptance. He also has a very strong sense of forgiving. Okay, so that's why we have to learn from Maitreya Buddha, just like water. Okay, like water. A virtuous person is just like water. You know how water never talks back to us, never yells at us, never struggle with us, right? Water is always silent and in solitary, right? That's how a virtuous person is. Always silent and in solitary. And water nourishes all things. Like a virtuous person who never expect any compliments or any reciprocation for doing a good deed well. Okay, then water always flow downwards, right? Always flow downwards. No matter what stands in their way, it'll flow around it. It's very accommodating. It just blends in with everything and flows downward, and it will fill all the all the debris, and that doesn't complain with the dirt, right? Exactly. So that's how a virtuous person should be. Okay. Remain humble and grateful. Okay. So Holy Teachers has a quote about water. He says, water's greatest virtue is that it does not argue, contend, or struggle. It can accept and bear dirt, filthy things without complaint, right? You notice water in like lakes and rivers is very dirty. It's still there. It doesn't complain. A human's actions cannot reach this level of virtue. Therefore, past sages and saints always praise the character of water. When calm, it is naturally level. When in motion, it naturally goes to the low places. It flows plentifully from its source, filling holes in its path, and continues on. So whoever holds on to the root will have the same character as water. Therefore, we must hold on to our roots. Okay? Have a very strong faith and sincerity in this Tao. Okay. You want to add something, Johnny? Okay. Then in teaching Tao, we teach thoroughly, okay, to its true meaning. We teach from our Buddha nature. We teach very clearly to the people that are listening to us. We don't just talk and talk in circles, never get to the point. Explain in detail. Explain so that the listener can understand. The most important thing is that they understand. Okay, not to use big vocabularies where they don't understand the words that we are using. To speak clearly and distinctly. In propagating Tao, we propagate Tao everywhere, wherever it leads us. There's no place in this whole world that will be too far for us to go. Like last November, we propagated the Tao to Europe, to Holland, to Germany. We did that. Okay? So there's no place in this world that is too far and too wide for us to go. Okay? And propagate Tao should be something that is done on a daily basis. We come across somebody we know, we talk to them. Okay. Of course, we don't push them to the fact that they will be afraid to see us next time. Okay. So if opportunity arises, we speak up. Okay. Don't let opportunity slide by without taking advantage of it. Okay. Sometimes Buddhas put us in that opportunity. So if Buddha puts somebody right in front of us and we don't speak, who's going to be disappointed? Buddha, right? So we have to help heaven do heaven's work. Okay. Then in practicing Tao, we can practice Tao every day. Johnny, can you lower a little bit? We can practice it every single day in our daily life. Oh, I guess it did. Okay, anyway, yeah, you can leave it there. So, no, I don't. I think that's too much. Yeah. So in practicing Tao, we practice it in our daily life, in our family, in our workplace, in not only in the temple, everywhere we go. Okay. By what? By our conduct, by our speech, by our actions. That is the practice in our daily life. Learning Tao Okay. Learning Tao is also in our daily life. It's not just in the temple. The Holy Teacher says, to learn is to learn the way one treats people and conduct oneself in society. That's what learning means. To learn is to have a sense of propriety. To learn is to learn and follow the ways and virtues of heaven. To learn and study how large, deep, rich, strong, generous, and magnanimous this earth is. And that's how we should be too. Okay? To learn that all rivers run into the sea. Use different means to obtain the same result. To make ourselves to be available, to carry and hold everywhere along the way as the rivers do. That's how we should learn. To learn to forgive other people's shortcomings or faults. To learn to see other people's good qualities or strong points. Okay. To learn to be as brilliant as heaven. To accomplish, succeed in virtue and morals as all things of creation. To have the will and aspirations of the sages and men of virtues. To endure the hardships, sufferings of all living creatures. To learn to bear and carry whatever is in teacher's mind. Try our best to ferry people every day. To learn the scriptures and deep human relationships. To gain thorough understanding. These are all considered as learning of Tao. Okay? And to cultivate Tao is with our heart and mind. Holy Teacher says, cultivating Tao is our state of mind. We cultivate our heart and mind, cultivate the 10 perfect virtues, and to eliminate the 10 evilness. Practice the 3 treasures, the Dharma of the heart and mind, to rid of our temper and bad habits, to change ourselves towards good, to truly cultivate, not only to say we will cultivate, but to actually walk the talk. Okay, a lot of people just talk and doesn't walk, but when we cultivate, we must walk the talk. That is cultivation. And what do we cultivate? The Holy Teacher says we have to cultivate our heart and mind, cultivate our character to be bright and open-minded, cultivate the 8-fold paths. Okay. And to cultivate equality in our heart and mind. There's no bias, no discrimination, okay, among any humankind. Cultivate to rid of the 3 hearts. That's the past, the present, and the future. We live in the moment. Okay. Like Lecturer Liu says in the Buddha Nature class, we must get rid of these 3 hearts. If we do not continuously think of what happened to us in the past, do not continuously talk about what happened in the past. When we do so, all that bad misfortune, all that bad karma, all that negative karma will follow us into today. Okay? Must get rid of the 3 hearts. We don't think about the future because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Today is today. This moment is this moment. That's all we should think about. Only this moment. Okay? Not an hour from now. Not 2 minutes from now. This moment. We cultivate cautiously, sincerely, and earnestly in our heart and mind. We cultivate without separating from or get closer. Without separating from, but get much closer to benevolence. Okay, we cultivate with benevolence. We cultivate our character to be upright in life and destiny. We cultivate to have manners, etiquette, courtesy in everything we do. We cultivate so we will not repeat the same mistake twice. Just like Confucius' disciple Yan Hui. He never repeats the same mistakes. Never repeats. Okay. We cultivate to be like our holy teacher as our role model. We cultivate to be within the Tao principles. And towards the end, the more we cultivate, the more we will be tested by heaven. Okay? So the strength of the vows we took, we will fulfill our vows with determination, be firm, persistent, and an inflexible will. Okay? So as human beings, we all have tempers and bad habits. In order to perfect ourselves like all the saints and Buddhas, we must cultivate to get rid of these bad temper and bad habits. And examples are like jade and diamonds. A raw piece of jade and diamond must be cut, chiseled, smooth, in order to expose the beauty and the value of the gem. This is us. We must cultivate to smooth it, to chisel it, to get rid of our bad habits and our bad temper, to be just as bright and valuable as a piece of gem. Next slide, teaching Tao. Okay, So we're up to teaching. Teaching Tao is to teach from our Buddha nature. Okay, we teach naturally. We teach by examples from ourselves. Okay, in other words, we must eat, sleep, act, walk, dress, and think of the Tao, because we are the role model that other people can follow. Everything we do must be in accordance with the Tao. Okay, so in other words, we must watch our words, watch our actions, watch our conduct, watch the way we dress, watch our thoughts, mostly our thoughts. Whatever is in our thought will be put into action. Therefore, always be aware of our thoughts. Okay? You want to say something, Johnny?
So all of what Lecture Jean just said has everything to do with the Eightfold Path, right? So it was mentioned earlier on. So the Eightfold Path says right views, so we have to have right views, guys, and we have to have right thoughts, right? We have to have right speech. So when we're speaking to people, we have to speak the truth and be careful with our manners, right? And we always have to have the right action, right? And the right livelihood is very important. So we, as now cultivators, we have to be very careful with the type of work, how we earn a living by having right livelihood. We have to have right mindfulness by always thinking the right things, not thinking something and then putting it into action to create karma, and of course right concentration.
Okay, those are the Eightfold Paths. We had several classes on that in the past. It's actually the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay. Then in propagating Tao is within the Sangha. That means the temple. Okay. We can propagate Tao. We can propagate with as a team. Okay. This Tao is teamwork. It does not depend on one individual person to make it. It depends on everybody's effort as a teamwork in order to propagate this Tao far and wide. Okay. So everything in our daily life is Tao. The relationship between human beings is Tao. Okay. Tao is in our heart. Our heart is Tao. This doesn't only mean our benevolent and merciful heart, but most important, it means our original true heart. That's our Buddha nature. Okay? So, when we propagate the Tao, sometimes people are not willing to come with us, which is okay. For example, when my son was 3 to 5 years old, I spoke to his pediatrician about receiving Tao. You know what he said to me? He goes, "Oh, I don't mind going to the underworld because that's where all my friends will be going. At least I know I will have companionship." Okay, but that's a wrong mindset, right? Because that's where all the suffering are. Why do you want to go with where all the people are going? That's where all the sufferings are. We want to go where the Buddhas are going. Okay, we're talking about paradise on earth. That's where paradise is, not paradise on earth. Okay. That is why when a person hears about the Tao, it also depends on the collective merit of his ancestors and his own foundation in his wisdom, whether they will come and receive the blessing. Okay. So those that do not have faith will not practice Tao even they are forced to receive it. Okay. So it is difficult for those who don't have faith to receive Tao. Only family with collective merits from ancestors will give birth to children who will receive heaven's Tao and practice it. Okay, so keep that in mind. Then also we can help with Tao affairs. Tao affairs is anytime the temple asks us to help, that is helping in Tao affairs. Okay, Holy Teacher says to help in Tao affairs is to help in the Tao community. Okay, a temple is a Tao community, right? The crucial point is to do good deeds. Our mission and task is to run the affairs of the three realms. That's the temporal heaven, the earthly realm, and the unknown world. Okay, so we must perform business as what sages and men of virtues would do. Okay, to start, initiate, and maintain the achievement of one's predecessors. This is helping in Tao affairs. And to just do it and be determined to do it. To unite all with one heart and mind, like opening up the earth. To change the nation from endangerment that one won't want to live in, such as what? No, like the I forgot the term that anyway, then also we must follow the golden thread. We should all know what it's like our family tree in the Tao. Okay, that's the golden thread. Okay, yeah, it's like our family tree in the Tao. Okay. Then also to earn merit, offset our bad karmas, and to fulfill our vows. Okay.
Golden thread, eagle.
Our family tree in the Tao.
Our family tree.
It starts with God,
Okay.
17th patriarch, 18th patriarch, 18th matriarch. Okay, our grand predecessor, our predecessors, our transmitters, our introducer guarantors, and ourselves.
Okay.
Okay? That's the golden thread. Okay, practicing Tao is through ourselves, by words and actions in our daily life. After we receive the Tao, the first thing to do is to establish and strengthen our faith. Okay. So faith is the foundation of practicing Tao. Faith is the fountainhead of building one's merits. The Tao is in our daily life. It's not just in the temple. And as long as we do our duties well at all times, then we are practicing Tao. Tao lies in the daily routines. Therefore, Tao cultivation should be started from our daily life. Everyone fulfills his basic duties, such as taking good care of our children, taking good care, loving and respecting our parents, filial piety. This is the Tao. Every natural action and movement is the manifestation of Tao. Tao is in each one of us, not in the temple only, in each one of us. Okay. So Tao is so in our conduct, in our words, in our action, we must manifest this Tao and manifest our virtues. Because everything we do represents the Tao. So that is why it is critical that we eat, sleep, wear, and think about the Tao all times, 24/7. Okay. Confucius says, some practice Tao with a natural ease. It comes very natural to them because it's easy, right? Some practice from a desire for their advantages. Okay. Some practice with strenuous effort. Okay. Some it doesn't come easy to them, so they must put an effort into it first. But at the end, the achievement being made is the same thing. Okay? So everybody practices differently. Okay? Now, we have a few minutes. Any questions? Does everybody understand so far what this learning, teaching?
I have a question.
Yes.
About it was 10,000 births, but we had a 1,000?
No,
10,000.
we have been reincarnated into this world for 60,000 years.
Right. And there was something about 10,000.
Well, 10,000 is, I quote, I made a mistake with my quote. Let the 10,000.
Okay, leave the 10,000 and the 1,000.
It's 60,000.
Okay, okay. And then, why is it difficult to be born in China?
Well, I don't know, but that's what the Buddha says.
Okay.
It's a quote from the Buddhas.
I've heard,
I guess it's because the Tao originated from China. I don't know why the Buddha said it is difficult to be born in China.
What was China before it was China?
It's always been China.
Yeah, because,
But I mean, before it had a name to be. You mean so India's always been India? And
Yeah, it's always been China. It's always been India.
but we have to remember before the world as we see it today, it was never like that. It was just like this. Everything was together. And then after that,
Now remember, the Tao originated from China. So for one to come across the Tao in China is much easier. So this is why not everybody is born in China. We're not born in China.
So that's why it's
Right?
difficult to be born now.
Yeah.
Because
You-
it's so prevalent, the Tao.
Yeah. So for those people that are born in China,
Because
they
they
are
have an
very
affinity.
lucky because they
Yes.
have an affinity and because they have this higher chance to receive the Tao. But until our grand predecessor propagated the Tao from mainland China to Taiwan and now all over the world, that is why today we have this great opportunity to come across the Tao. So that's why today we are in human form. We already received the Tao. Take advantage of the fact that we have all this and learn, cultivate, teach, practice, and propagate. This is the whole meaning, yes.
One more question. Have all the Buddhas been born in China?
No. No.
Oh,
The Buddha meant, that the Tao originated from China, and that is why those that have, the first chance to receive the Tao is people in China.
so
This
Buddhas
is what
are
we
born
meant.
all, like,
Buddha
yeah,
was born-
and living Buddhas?
Buddha was born in India.
Yeah, Buddha
No,
was born
which
in
Buddha?
Sakyamuni Buddha was born in India. Yes, he
No, he
was.
wasn't.
He was born in India.
No, he wasn't.
yeah.
I've been at
He was
I have
Hindu.
been where Buddha was born. I've been right at the spot.
He was Hindu.
I slept and sat and meditated.
It's
at
okay.
the spot where he was
It's
born.
okay. Everybody
not born in
believe in different
Not
things.
born in-
Okay.
He was born in Nepal, in Lumbini. It's called Lumbini, Nepal. And there's a mist there that cannot be explained.
Tree.
The tree is gone now. I was there with the tree. The tree is now in Japan.
Okay.
The
so
tree was removed.
we-
But it's a lake
we
in
can
Nepal
make-
and
we
there's
can
a
make
tree.
that an issue right
And
now.
there's a mist.
Right, okay.
There's this beautiful ether that they can't explain it, but when you're walking, you can barely it's like this mist. It's really beautiful. But the tree is so
Okay, so any more questions? Because we have one-
No, that was just my question.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
living
So
Buddhas.
this is the first
living
part.
Buddhas. That's what I wanted to know about living Buddhas. Like Buddhas that are alive, incarnate.
Your
right now.
living Buddha are your parents. Our parents are our living Buddha.
But
You
what
don't
if
have to
they're dead?
search for Buddhas in
And what
the
if they're
temple.
gone?
Our parents are.
And if they're not here, if they pass away,
You do your best to cultivate so they can benefit.
So that's what the teaching is, that we can cultivate
So
and see.
so I'm a living Buddha because I have children.
Yeah, well,
To my children, I'm saying.
We all have Buddha nature inside each one.
Right, but I mean a Buddha in
We
the,
are all living Buddhas. Okay.
well, yeah, but I meant like one that's like looked at. as-
Your parents
Oh,
is
that's it?
the greatest example of a living Buddha. Okay.
with compassion, the way
Okay.
they do.
Oh,
The
the
things that they
Yeah.
do, a parent will do for a child,
Well-
right? That is a normal person would not do those things. So that's why
Well,
that is used as an example of a living Buddha.
well, I've lived and cooked and been with Buddhas that chose to be born where they were born, came back for their relics, that are the compassion. They are living Buddhas, like they are Buddhas, like now and were. Like one of them was a reincarnation of Naropa. and it's very close to me.
Okay, I thank you for your attention. If I said anything wrong or I did not cover this topic well enough, I ask God and all the saints and Buddhas for their forgiveness.
One,